Hello everyone, Kate here. I'm excited to bring you a bit of an update about this last 11 weeks here in Newcastle. Again, I've been doing the School of Communication Foundations with YWAM, and we have 1 week to go. We've just finished our last lecture for this week, and it's kind of crazy that so much time has passed already. I don't know if you're feeling it, but man, the weeks blended into each other, full of information and challenges and exciting opportunities and new people, which I love all those things. So it has been pretty good time. Definitely has been challenging adjusting to a different pace of life here, everybody all in together, living together, sharing everything. So that's been, a bit of a challenge and very different from my experience in Melbourne. But at the same time, I really have enjoyed hanging out, being around people. I feel like I've been able to extrovert a little bit more. So that's been really good. The last few weeks, we've had some teaching on some really cool subjects, and I want to tell you a little bit about them. We had a Visual Communications Week with a guy named Jason from Brisbane, and he's a film director and leads film schools and is an amazing, passionate guy who really wants to see great art and great films produced and directed and get out there with a godly worldview, with a good worldview that reaches lots of people. Not only those who are seeing it, but also those who are part of it. And he talked a lot about the difference between sacred and secular, but often how we say secular is bad and sacred is good. Whereas generally what it means is secular is Christian and sacred is Christian and secular is non-Christian, and we separate, delineate there. Whereas shouldn't we be making art that is good, as in has a good worldview, as opposed to stuff that has a bad worldview, and being able to separate between those things. And he encouraged us to, when we watch movies, when we see TV, when we're connected with visual communication, to look at it in the way of, is it good or is it bad? Does it have a good worldview? Does it teach people good stuff? Or does it have a bad, and help to make our decisions about that, not whether it's Christian or not. So he was really great. Loved having him come. And then last week we had two speakers, a guy named Paul O'Rourke, who was the CEO of Compassion, and he taught on journalism, and it was amazing just to hear from his 16 plus years in the newspaper industry, to hear his heart, to hear his wisdom and experience, and to see what he talked about, how we make an impact in that world, and how we understand what we're reading and where it's coming from. So we asked lots of questions. That was really interesting to me. And then we had a guy named John Marks, who is the CEO of Radio Rima here in Newcastle. He actually took us to the radio station where we got to see the studio, even as they were on air, and talk to some of the presenters. And he was really great, took us through all the different departments, and we were able to speak to a bunch of the people there to see what they do, what it takes to put on a radio station, and that's 100% Christian, and at the same time 41% of the listeners say that they would be non-Christian. So there's reaching a lot of people. So it was a great experience. We also got to do a few sound bites just in the production room, and saying, "Hi, this is Kate from Melbourne. When I'm in Newcastle, I listen to Radio Rima," that kind of thing. So that was fun. It was a bit scary, especially because I got my new braces and it makes me sound a little bit different. But sorry about that. I'm getting used to speaking with my braces. Anyway, so this week we've been having, what's it called? Now that I've lost my train of thought with my funny talking. We have been having marketing and social media with Daniel Norris from here in Newcastle, and he speaking a lot about analytics and how we can actually track whether our marketing is reaching the right audience, if it's actually worthwhile of our money, and getting where we want it to go, the importance of that. Then also the importance of social media and just what's happening with that, with Facebook and Twitter, and how much it's discipling this generation, how it's important for us to be connected and understand it, but not become a victim to the way that it's perpetuating relationships and things like that. He talked a lot today about the difference between communicating fact and communicating truth, and that even as we communicate in our own Facebook or stuff like that, the way that it can be misconstrued. He gave a really great quote that said, a picture might paint 1,000 words, but a word can paint 1,000 pictures. And the fact that 10% of what we communicate is verbal and the rest is non-verbal communication. So just a tweet or a status update is only 10% of actually how someone would receive that communication if we were face-to-face. So you lose so much, and it can be misconstrued and read differently by everybody, and just it's very shallow, and it's not a great way to communicate, because there's no tone, there's no facial expression. Everything you can see with me, you would miss if I just wrote a status update, or even just an email update. So it's been so interesting, and I feel really challenged. How am I communicating, and where have I done status updates or communicated someone in a way that hasn't been loving and hasn't even communicated truth? It's just been, I feel crap. But actually, God, you're healing me. Thank you, Lord, kind of stuff. Anyway, so it's been a really great last few weeks. And next week we have David Stevenson, who is the bass director here. And at this point, I can't remember what he's speaking on. I think vision casting, which will be good for the last week. Which I'm kind of excited about, but I'm also really ready to go home. So I just wanted to let you know, actually, in this process of being here, I wasn't sure what I was doing next. I actually packed in Melbourne as if I wasn't returning. I had my passport with me in case I was getting on a plane going somewhere. But I've decided that I'm going to be heading back down to Melbourne in October and November, and I'll be heading next week down to Melbourne, but I'm going to be working at anything I can find, any kind of job, and looking at how I can save up, and then I'll be heading to Scotland for Christmas, which is really exciting, to spend it with my dad and my stepmom and hopefully my sister and brother. It's been 4 years since I've been there, so I'm looking forward to going back and just spending a month there, and hopefully it will snow. Hopefully. Keep my fingers crossed. And then next year I have some plans. And they're very exciting, but I'm not going to be telling you because I still have to talk with a few people and get a few things finalized. So if you really want to know, you either have to email me or you have to tune into my next video update, and I'll let you know what I'm up to. I had been considering a few different options overseas and here, and I really feel like God's calling me to be developed in the area of arts and creativity. So there's a little hint. So tune into the next update and you'll get more information if you want to. You might not care, and that's all right. But if you do care, tune in. So so that's a little bit about me and what's been going on. I do want to just say thank you so much again for those who have participated in my puzzle piece fundraising campaign. I needed about $6,000 from probably May to the end of September, and I've seen $5,000 come in that time through some work and a lot of amazing support and provision and generosity by so many amazing people who have grabbed hold of puzzle pieces, bought a tire, or paid for my dental trip, or done different things, and it's been such a blessing. I feel so supported and cared for. I feel like, wow, people have confidence in me and what I'm doing with my call in missions, and I just want to say thank you so much. I only need one more $1,000 to get me over the line. I'm hoping to have that paid by the 22nd of September, which is about 9 days away, but God can totally do that, and He's been so faithful. So many times when I've done something, I may have needed the money, but I've always left and finished and completed it without a debt, and I really am praying for that to be the same way again. So would appreciate your prayers in this last week and a half for this $1,000 to come in to be able to pay off my fees here, so that I'm not having to be in a debt, as I said. And but I did want to say thank you so much. It's meant so much to me that people have participated and prayed for me and supported me, and sometimes I don't feel like I deserve it, but at the same time I'm really proud and passionate about what I'm doing, and really believe that as a worker I deserve the wages that come through as a worker in God's kingdom. So thank you so much, and we'll let you know how that goes. And I'm really hoping to see you. If you live in Sydney, I'll be there the weekend of the 23rd of September for a few days. Give me a call or Facebook me if you want to catch up. But otherwise, I will see you on the next update, and then I'll let you know what I'm doing, which is very exciting. I'm very excited. It's very hard for me not to tell you, but maybe you can guess. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I will be seeing you very soon. Bye-bye.